Hello, my name is Gina. During a series of tutorials, I will lead you through the process of filling in the application form for a standard project in our monitoring system, GEMS. In this particular tutorial, I will show you how to fill in sections C1 to C3 under the chapter, Project Description. Please be aware that these tutorial videos focus on the fields of the application form to be filled in or to be selected. They do not refer to overviews or those fields that are automatically generated by the system. Watching the tutorials does not substitute careful studying of the manuals of the program. Applicants are advised to read the manuals first, and check the tutorials thereafter to get a practical insight to the system and the process of filling in the application form. Chapter C, Project Description, in the left-hand menu bar comprises all content-related details about your project. In this tutorial, we will focus on its wider context, including objectives, relevance for the program, and the justification for the partnership. The sections covered in this tutorial are very important parts of the application because they provide justification to how your project is linked to the previously selected program targets. The first step is to think about your project overall objective. Go to section C1 and define it in the text field both in German and Hungarian. Although you have up to 500 characters, please be clear and very focused. Formulate the overall objective in a short sentence. The overall objective defines what you aim to achieve by the end of your project. Remember, your project needs to contribute to the program's objective, which you have selected in the Project Identification section. Above all, your objective should be realistic and achievable by the end of the project, or shortly after. Besides that, you have to specify who needs the project results and in which territory. Define measurable targets, indicating the change you are aiming for with your project. Following the overall objective, move on to the section C2, Project Relevance and Context. In each of the following three text input fields, you can enter text up to 5,000 characters in both German and Hungarian. First, provide a description about the need for your project in the program area and its relevance with giving information on the common challenges and opportunities addressed in your proposal. After that, you need to present how your project does tackle the identified common challenges and/or opportunities and what is new about the approach it takes. You have to describe here new solutions that will be developed during the project and/or those existing solutions that will be adopted during implementation. Furthermore, you also have to introduce in what way the approach goes beyond existing practice. In the third text box, describe the necessity of the cross-border cooperation to achieve the project's objectives and result. Here you have to explain why the project objectives cannot be efficiently reached only on a national level, and you have to describe what benefits the project partners, target groups, project area, and program area gain in taking a cross-border approach. When you are ready with these descriptive parts, you will have to define the target groups that will benefit from your project. To add a new target group, you have to click on the plus sign button. A row will appear with two columns. In the first column, you have to select one of the predefined categories of target groups from the drop-down list. In the second column, you shall name who will benefit from your project. Please be as concrete as possible, and use the rest of the space to explain in more detail in what way they will benefit. You have to fill in this text field in German and Hungarian, in not more than 2,000 characters in each language. Repeat these steps until all target groups are added and specified according to your project. After you have defined the target groups of your project, you have to add wider strategies and policies which your project intends to contribute to. To add a wider strategy, you have to click on the plus sign button. The program has predefined the EU's macro-regional strategy for the Danube region. If relevant, select it and give a description about your project's contribution. You shall also add any other relevant national, regional, or sectoral strategies and define the project's contribution to it. For this, you have 2,000 characters both in German and Hungarian. Repeat these steps until all relevant strategies are added and the project's contribution to them is explained. To further elaborate the context where your project fits in, You shall add past or current EU and other projects or initiatives which your project will make use of. Click on the plus sign button to add a new element. In the first column, you must name the project or initiative your project shows synergies with, and in the second column, you have to describe the details of the synergy effect. Both text fields must be filled in bilingual, in up to 2,000 characters for both German and Hungarian. Repeat these steps until all relevant projects or initiatives are added and the project synergies are detailed to them. In the last field of this section, you have to give a description of the way your project builds on available knowledge. Here you can describe the experiences, lessons learned that the project draws on, and other available knowledge the project capitalizes on. This bilingual text input field can contain text up to 5,000 characters per language mutation. Finally, in this tutorial we will move on to the section C3 about the project partnership. Here you will find only one bilingual text field, with up to 5,000 characters both in German and in Hungarian. In your description, you have to present the structure of your partnership and explain why these partners are needed to implement the project and to achieve its objectives. You should also go in further details concerning the contribution of each partner to the project. Don't forget to save your work regularly, but at latest before you move on to the next section, or before you close GEMS.